Davis is not going to fight him, Teddy. You know that. He knows that. Tank Davis is not going to fight him.
No, I just put Tank Davis out there. But you know, he's not the only guy. He's not the only guy that you could put out for the kind of fight that the fans want to see, a talented fighter like him.
Shakur Stevenson is growing more irritated with GervontaDavis as their much-awaited clash continues to face delays.
He just jumped back. You never see him slip no punch. You never see him slip no punch. Go look at it. You see him back up from a lot of people. Back up, move around.
At this point, it's clear that the bout is definitely going to take place.
135? 35, 40, I don't know. I could see it happening not too far in the future.
Really?
Yeah, I think Tank will sign that contract. Dang. And I'm going to sign a contract too.
As Shakur Stevenson prepares to take on Artem Harutyunyan on July 6th at the Prudential Center, leading an ESPN card, GervontaDavis is marking his recent victory following a knockout over Frank Martin. Shakur Stevenson, known for his self-belief and refined skills in the ring, is focused on his next fight against Artem Harutyunyan. Although Harutyunyan recently suffered a loss to Frank Martin, Stevenson is not overlooking him and plans to take full command of the fight. At the same time, his focus remains on a future clash with GervontaDavis, a bout he sees as a major moment for his career and the division.
He the best at. He didn't even fight at 135 yet.
Right.
He didn't even have power at 126, 30, or none of that.
He is good.
At 26, Shakur Stevenson points to GervontaDavis being 30 as an issue, questioning why he still hasn't faced the top-level opponents he keeps mentioning. Stevenson asked how many times Davis will promise to fight elite competition without actually doing it, noting he is already 30 and still talking about fighting him next, saying if that's the case, then make it happen.
How can he say Tank should have fought De Los Santos, a guy that he just beat, right? He should have faced him over me, but he going to fight a guy I beat. What type of sense that makes?
Shakur Stevenson's frustration comes from what he sees as a shortage of major bouts despite a strong record that features championships across 3 weight classes and a unified world title at junior lightweight. He questions the ongoing holdups in arranging big-name fights, particularly involving GervontaDavis, asking whether he truly plans to face him or will keep making claims about future plans, urging him to stop talking and step into the ring.
Gervonta Tank Davis, let's make the fight happen, man. I'm tired of tweeting, I'm tired of talking about it. Stop ducking me and let's make the fight happen, man. Come on.
In Shakur Stevenson's perspective, setting up a bout with GervontaDavis should be simple, saying all it takes is an offer being sent. He recognizes Davis as the more prominent name and makes it clear he isn't claiming that position for himself, but stresses that he is fully prepared and available, stating he's not going anywhere and is ready to fight the moment Davis decides to make it happen.
And I think Tank, at this point, he's unbeatable at the lightweight division against any of the world champions. I think he's the top guy right now at that division.
Shakur Stevenson also voiced frustration with Frank Martin, who pulled out of their planned bout for the vacant WBC lightweight title last November, a fight Stevenson later won against Edwin de los Santos. He questioned Martin's status as a top-level fighter and criticized him for not honoring the matchup, saying he wasn't pleased that Martin faced GervontaDavis before him, adding that Martin gained attention by agreeing to fight him but ultimately never followed through.
But and I'm not trying to disrespect Frank, because Frank, I heard him say in the interview that I was hating on him. I'm really not. I don't got really nothing to hate on him. I wish him nothing but the best too.
But now it appears the wait for this matchup will not be much longer. The fight between Shakur Stevenson and GervontaDavis has already been confirmed and scheduled for the summer of 2024. After earlier delays and Stevenson's frustration over trying to secure the fight, the current momentum indicates that the bout is close to becoming a reality.
People in the world that I think that could beat Tank. That would be Devin, that would be Shakur, and Tank Davis himself.
You got the last one right. That's the only person that can beat me, Gervonta.
Although an exact date hasn't been confirmed, it is expected that another knockout involving GervontaDavis could come soon, or perhaps a win for either side. What is certain is that Davis and Shakur Stevenson will meet in a 12-round fight at the 135-pound lightweight limit. This matchup has drawn strong interest across the boxing world, bringing together 2 of the sport's most talented and rising fighters.
I told you it's a 50-50 fight.
Ain't no 50-50 fight, nigga. How you gonna keep me off and you ain't got no power?
For Shakur Stevenson, who has openly shown frustration over the delays in meeting GervontaDavis, this upcoming fight stands as a major milestone in his career.
Tank Davis can fight a guy who they picked up all from the diner. He knocks him out. Oh, it's great because he knocked him out. You know what I mean? But Shakur will fight a dangerous guy who's a puncher, beat him a little bit less impressively, and all of a sudden, no, we don't care about it. We don't want to see him. Okay, so then we'll get him diner worthy. workers.
Even Bob Arum has stepped in to explain why this fight could turn out to be bigger than expected. It's not only him. Leonard Ellerby has also supported the idea of GervontaDavis taking on Shakur Stevenson, even suggesting another knockout for Davis, while Arum has shown interest in the matchup as well. The long-anticipated clash is now widely expected to be finalized for the summer of 2024.
Sure, we're looking for fighters that are competitive with Shakur.
Despite early talk that GervontaDavis might face Vasily Lomachenko, Josh Dubin, who co-manages Shakur Stevenson, has firmly backed his fighter's standing as a major attraction in boxing, directly pushing back against recent remarks made by Bob Arum. Responding to Arum's claim that Lomachenko would bring more revenue through viewership and ticket sales, Dubin called that argument unreasonable, highlighting Stevenson's strong ratings on ESPN and his solid record of selling out arenas, including events at venues like the United Center. Dubin stated that Shakur Stevenson has regularly ranked among the top-rated fighters on their lineup, noting that whenever he appears on ESPN, he draws strong viewership. He added that the only time Stevenson did not achieve one of the higher ratings was when he was scheduled to fight on a Thursday night, a move that was promoted alongside a major Formula One event, which Dubin said Stevenson himself did not support, predicting that the arena would not reach full capacity. Josh Dubin further criticized how Shakur Stevenson has been managed, suggesting there has been hesitation in setting up major fights, possibly tied to contract talks or promotional priorities. He stressed that Stevenson wants to compete against the top names in his division, including GervontaDavis, Vasily Lomachenko, and William Zepeda, and argued that these ambitions have not been properly backed by promotion. Dubin added that Stevenson is seeking the biggest possible fights, and while he understands promoters cannot force opponents into agreements, he rejected claims that talks for a Davis fight are being avoided due to Stevenson's drawing power, calling that explanation incorrect. Stevenson remains undefeated as a professional and has already proven himself across several weight classes, earning world titles at featherweight and junior lightweight.
People that can actually hit. No matter all that boxing, you're going to get hit. What you gonna do when you get...
Despite what was seen as a below par showing in his previous fight against Edwin de los Santos, Shakur Stevenson continues to push forward in pursuit of major challenges that could boost his standing in the sport. Josh Dubin also extended his criticism to how Stevenson is handled compared to other fighters, pointing out that matchups for less prominent opponents like William Zepeda appear easier to organize, while talks for a fight with GervontaDavis seem far more complicated by comparison. Shakur Stevenson is aiming for three key opponents: Vasily Lomachenko, GervontaDavis, and William Zepeda, as emphasized by Josh Dubin. He has repeatedly pushed for these matchups, and Dubin noted that a fight with Zepeda could be arranged very quickly. Stevenson's team maintains that he is capable of generating strong viewership and attracting fans, countering the idea that he does not have the drawing power needed to land major fights.
Shakur is a very talented, skillful, technique fighter.
Yeah.
You know, can't take anything away from it. However, scared to get hit. Scared to get knocked out in front of the world.
As talks move forward and both fighters show interest, the expected announcement of a GervontaDavis vs Shakur Stevenson fight for summer 2024 points to a major turning point for Stevenson as he works to establish himself among boxing's top names. However, it is also widely accepted that one reason the fight has not happened sooner is that Stevenson is not seen as financially appealing in the eyes of Davis. Beyond the support from Bob Arum, who believes Stevenson can generate strong returns, Stevenson himself has been actively working to promote and market his own profile.
Who I'm fighting, you know, like, come on, like, the money there, I wasn't feeling that. If it would have been more money, I would have took that.
In a detailed conversation with Brian Custer on Showtime Sports, Shakur Stevenson spoke about the challenges and frustrations involved in getting major fights during his career. He openly shared his thoughts on possible matchups, including the long-discussed but still unrealized bout with GervontaDavis. When asked about the scheduled fight with Frank Martin for the WBC lightweight title in Las Vegas that was set for November, Stevenson gave a straightforward explanation for why it didn't happen, saying Martin appeared hesitant once the fight was close, adding that although the financial reason was cited, the offer was significantly higher than anything Martin had previously earned.
Before the fight was signed, it sounded good, everything sounded good, but once the fight came to fruition, I feel like he got real nervous and didn't want to fight anymore.
Shakur Stevenson pointed out the difference between Frank Martin's past earnings and the purse offered for their fight, explaining that Martin had previously made around $250,000 in his career, while the proposed bout would have paid about $1 million, which would have been the highest payday of his career.
His numbers, but the numbers that he done made in his career was the highest was 250,000. That fight that he would have just fought, he would have fought for a world title.
When Brian Custer suggested that Frank Martin may have withdrawn in anticipation of a larger opportunity, Shakur Stevenson expressed doubt, stating that fighters generally do not want to lose, and suggesting that Martin understands his level. He added that if Martin was going to risk a loss, he likely wanted a payout far greater than his previous earnings, implying that even a fourfold increase was not sufficient.
He want to make 10 times more than he ever made in his career. So
Shakur Stevenson expressed clear frustration when talking about the challenges of securing fights with elite opponents, saying he actively tries to arrange the biggest matchups. He pointed to the situation with Vasily Lomachenko, explaining that Lomachenko was offered more money than he had ever earned to face him but declined. He also referenced Frank Martin, noting that Martin was given a similar offer, also the highest of his career, yet still chose not to accept. Stevenson summed it up by saying it is very difficult to bring these fighters into the ring against him.
I don't think fighters want to lose. I think that deep down inside, he know that I'm one of the best fighters in boxing. And
Shakur Stevenson is not new to being seen as avoided by other fighters, though his situation stands out in a unique way. When asked what it would take to secure a major fight, he admitted he is unsure and that it is beyond his control, suggesting that perhaps only a poor performance or a very close fight might change how opponents approach him. He also pointed to a missed opportunity with Devin Haney, explaining that while he was eager to make the fight happen, negotiations fell apart due to financial differences, leading him to move in a different direction after being offered a lower amount than what he expected.
It almost gave the impression that Shakur was asking for way too much money for this fight. Give me your
Shakur Stevenson's move to secure a mandatory spot for the WBC title, which was held by Devin Haney, highlights his calculated approach to his career. He explained that by establishing himself as the mandatory challenger, he positioned himself to fight for the vacant WBC title, which he sees as Haney's former belt, leaving the details of how it unfolded for others to interpret.
Power not outrageous.
Okay.
What defense?
You don't think he got defense?
He just jumped back. You never see him slip no punch. You never see him slip no punch.
If you've been following this story, you already know how intense and unpredictable this path has been. Now we want to hear from you. Do you think this fight will finally happen? Or is something still holding it back? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and join the conversation.